Well, welcome to the first YouTube video of February. I'm super excited to share this really cute project. It's February, I think, and it's getting close to Valentine's Day. I'm trying to be really on top of getting some fun cards out. And I thought what I would do this week is I was playing with things and just doing little coffee cups, flowers, tulips, everything that, you just feel like you need a pop of color in the gray days of February, right? And actually the sun is out today, so it's beautiful. But what I'm doing is I'm just taking, making stripes and cute little flowers, cups, including I'm using some Bible verses from the love chapter and Romans, different verses about love. You could do these with your favorite quotes about love, but we're just creating really fun, simple, and just cute watercolors. This might be a really fun time of year to create some new bookmarks for yourself, or create some fun snail mail to send to somebody else. I am using ModPodge to put everything together, and I won't show you that on the video, but just so you know, it does smear a little bit. So we're going to paint together, but just know too, when you put it on, sometimes the watercolors smear a little bit, but these are not supposed to be perfect. They're just supposed to be super, super sweet. So like on this one with the Mod Podge, I just made sure to put the Mod Podge on the back and then on the front, just on the edges, so it didn't smear so much of my actual art. It's just a little Mod Podge tip. But let's go ahead and start painting together. And what I've done is I am going to paint stripes, because the stripes are just creating the cutest background. And I think that, when it is cold and we are hibernating inside a little bit more often, sometimes it's hard to think of things that are like really new to paint. There's not as many flowers available to paint. I'm looking for a lot more inspiration in magazines or pulling out scrapbook paper designs, all sorts of really fun things. So what I'm going to start doing, and I'm going to actually use some blue today for this stripe, is I like to do things that I find are just kind of rhythmic, restorative in the month of February. I'm still really in a month of play. I'm still planning on what we're going to be doing the rest of the year and some really fun projects that I'm excited about. I'm going to grab some more paint here. I'm going to do a nice thick line. I love doing these stripes. There's something that's really calm and fun and not perfect. I'm going to add a little bit of pink to this blue too, just to give it a little bit of a different color. And that creates a little bit more of a purplish, right? A purple blue. You can certainly use other blues too if you have them on your palette. I'll go up here. I'm going to do another thin one. I am working to keep my lines fairly straight, but I'm also not too worried if they're not super straight. That's just, I'm not too worried about that. You could even change up the brush size. I'm going to add some more water here, and then I'm going to do a nice thick one where I lay it on its side, and I just hold it, and it does lose paint at the end, and that's fine. That is part of the fun of this. I'm going to do one that's a little bit faster and just go all the way. Sometimes when I don't try so hard, I actually get the line a little bit straighter. And I'm going to do another one just like that, moving that through. Picking up a little bit of pink here, and maybe for fun, I've got to do a little bit of a different color to be a little bit different right here in the middle. I'm going to pick up some more blue here, and then once again do a thick line. And you'll find too, I usually hold that paintbrush. My camera is in the way, I'm realizing, so maybe I'm actually going to go this way. Don't let your hand touch the rest of the paper, and just hold it all the way down and just keep on going. So I was thinking, I love coffee, I love tea, and especially there's something in the really cold months where it tastes especially good. And then I was creating these cute little coffee cups, and I had found some scrapbook paper that was Parisian inspired. It was so cute, and it had that croissants and macaroons. I thought, I'm not up quite for those, because it's hard when you're painting small to make them look like what you want. And my croissants, they don't quite look like croissants. So I thought the cups of coffee we can do that. That would be a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to do one big thick one here at the bottom, nice and thick. And then I'm going to have enough room to do a small one at the top, right above that. So I'm going to come pick up a little bit more pink again, and we're going to do a super tiny one right here. And I have some variation of color there, and you can see in this one, I just used pink. So in this one, I just used the pink and just did different variations of sizes. But the idea too is that it's not perfect. It really is fun though, because we're getting that rhythm of the stripes all over. Now let's move over here, and I'm going to pick up some pink, and we are going to go ahead and drop this beautiful, it's kind of a peony wildflower. I was looking at some of the work I had done with Small 23 a couple years ago, and I had loved painting those wildflowers. Sometimes this time of year, as I'm working through projects, I'll go through work I've done in the past, see if there's anything that I felt I just didn't quite finish. Sometimes projects just get set aside in the busyness of life. And I'm moving around here, just dropping that paint in. Let me come in a little bit closer so you can see that even better. You can see too, I am leaving some white space because with watercolor, we like the magic of that white bouncing off the page. I'm using really the tips of my paintbrush as well. I'm going to add a little bit of that blue pink from the other one, and just to get a little bit of shadow. Just plain like that. Even over here, just a little bit of variation of color. That helps it not to look so flat too. Okay, I'm going to pick up some more pink, and I am going to drop just a little bit more pink in there though. It would be darker down here. I'm going to move on now to my mocha, and I am going to do for the coffee holder, I'm going to create that a pink. And I did put a little bit of a cute little heart emblem on the side. Since this is our Valentine mocha. Of course, with all of these, they don't need to be Valentines. It could, whatever time of year you're painting this, it can be whatever style you want it to be. I have an idea for some another color theme, another style that's not February or Valentine's Day related at all that I'm excited to share with you. And that's going to be coming up real soon. All right, I'm going to just create this blue. I'm going to leave some darker blue underneath the coffee cup edges underneath the lid, because it would definitely have a bit of shadow there. Always working to help my watercolors pop off the page as much as I can. I don't want them to look flat. I want them to have a bit of a multi-dimensional look. But not thinking too hard about that today either, right? I think there's a big football game. I think it's this weekend. I'm so horrible at that. But I don't know if maybe you might be looking for something to do while your loved one enjoys the game. Or sometimes when I've been with people who are watching the game, I just work on a little project, since I don't always understand everything that's going on in football. I get basketball, I get baseball, but football and I just have a little bit of a hard time understanding it. I've never bothered to though either. I have to admit, I think if I made more effort, right? Isn't that true in all of life? But it's fun though to be with the people. I love supporting people, being with the people I love. I'm not going to be participating in the game this year, but certain other years I have. And it's nice just to have something to do where I can still talk, still interact. And that's the kind of the fun of painting too, is you can bring it along with you and still engage with others. Okay, so I'm working through my leaves here. This will be the only pop of green on the page. Now, normally, if you painted with me, you know I sometimes like to add a little bit of yellow to create that variation. However, I don't have any yellow in this painting day. I'm actually going to pick up a little bit of blue, and I'm going to dab the smallest bit of blue around where I might have some depth. I might have some shadowing, right, because the peony would be covering this, the flower itself would be covering the leaf right there. So I'm going to add just a little bit of blue. Again, not tons, but just enough to create that color of shadow. And then I'll just pick up some green if like it looks a bit too bluey right there, and just add in that color there. And I'll add a little bit more green. And you know watercolor always dries lighter than we put it on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish up by doing my the background and the wash. So making sure you're using the tip of that paintbrush so we don't get we don't merge our colors. And of course you could always wait until your painting completely dries and then come back and do the wash around it. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make sure I've got a lot of water on here because I don't want it too dark. I am just going to work my way around, and you can see where I touch the blue just a tad, so I'm going to back out a little bit. I'm going to come over here with these guys. I wanted to keep this colors just simple so that when I mixed and matched the colors and the words, it would all go together really easily, like it was just singing together. So mostly I was using blues and pinks, a tad bit of purple, a tad bit of green, and just moving that painting around, picking up a little bit more water and paint. You might want to let your paint go darker in one edge and then a little bit lighter in another. I'm going to move through very carefully, getting into around my stems and the flowers, and then I'll come back down here. You can always use a dry paintbrush as well and soak up any sort of paint that's spilled. So again, I'm going to pick this up. I notice I have a little bit just around here. Okay, this little peony that I'm painting around, he looks a little bit like, or this wildflower, a little bit like a cacti. And you'll notice it will turn brown because pink and green, red and brown always do. So I'm just going to come back up here and clean it up. And then when it dries, I might add a little bit more paint. But remember, not perfect. We're not going for perfect. And this is going to be super cute when you add in your words. Okay, and then I'm going to come back over here and just finish this guy. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper with the pink in one corner. Maybe up here at the top, go right up against my line, just like that. And then we are just about done. And we're going to let these dry. Meanwhile, I had taken the edges of my other paintings. For example, cutting off the edge of here, and then I would just write in whatever quote I wanted, and then you can go ahead and add whatever color you would like. And I think with this one, for example, I'll go ahead and do a blue and just do a really light wash over, oh, I'm sorry, you can't see that, over that. So just a little bit of a blue, not too dark. And then we're going to let all of that dry, and then I'll mix and match, and I will make another cute little card. I hope you've enjoyed that. Again, you can see too where I've been playing with these for a couple of days now and making a variety of little cards and shapes, and there's all sorts of things you could do. And it's just kind of a fun idea too to think how I can mix and match them. I might have to do some green stripes on a background as well, and then combine them all together. But a fun way to make beautiful art and add a pop of color and joy in February. I hope you have a great day. I will talk to you very, very soon.